Alright, for this lesson, for my elementary English lesson, I focused on the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And some of the materials we're going to use are markers, a large easel, coloring sheets, crayons, pencils, an umbrella cut out, and a real umbrella. Now, if you've ever seen the movie, it's kind of this made-up town with all these little different characteristics that aren't obviously true to real life. And so the importance of this lesson is focusing on using imaginary and using real life and comparing the two. And so the students will be introduced with this lesson with reading that Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Prior to reading, the teacher will ask the students to look at the cover and predict what they think is going to happen in the book. And so I will show them the title of the book and let them see and take suggestions on stuff like that. So has anybody ever read or seen the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Yes, no, some of us. Does anybody know what fantasy means? No. Fantasy is when a story uses imaginary characteristics depicting a majestical ending. Can anyone give me an example of fantasy? In other words, maybe fairy tale. Yeah, that's a good one. Can anybody give me an example? Cinderella. Yes, very good. So, the students will gather information through the story, and I will place visuals on chart paper. So therefore, we'll be going back and forth on comparing and contrasting the story to real life. Now, can anybody tell me what comparing is? Good. Comparing is evaluating different things and seeing the qualities they have that are alike. And what do you think the other thing is? Good. Qualities that are different. Contrasting will kind of say with those qualities how things work between the two and how they don't work between the two. So we will be reading the story Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. During the story, we'll compare and contrast what is happening in story and real life. So everyone will have their own sheet of paper. With that own sheet of paper, you will make up your own town name. Within that town, you're going to write different qualities just like the book has, and then write your own. And what is that called? Imaginary. Yes, correct. So we're going to imagine with our big brains what that can do. So each student's going to come up to the board and write down their ideas in the bulletin chart. Each student will be encouraged to come up and write or talk about their idea of their imaginary town and the events that will be taking place in the town. I would like each student to come up to the board at least once and share their ideas. So that way we can all compare and contrast, each idea. I would like at the end of this lesson, or the following day, we're going to watch the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That way we can kind of hit all different learning styles versus visual, just seeing something versus hearing it and bouncing ideas off of that. So in the class, we'll go over Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and compare and contrast live events to the actual story. We will each make up our own town. For the example, the town in the story is, I'm going to say this wrong, Chew and Swallow. It just looks weird, I guess. And compare to our own town. So whatever you want to do. And so students' responses to the book we read out in class were really well. And the students' written response to the bulletin board page was awesome. I really liked the whole teamwork, bouncing each other's off ideas. And overall, this lesson worked very well.